So, Alex, it's wonderful. It's great to have you on the show today. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So, Alex, a lot of my viewers will know you, but for any of the newcomers, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself before we get into your journey?
Absolutely. Yeah, my name is Alex. I have a channel on YouTube, AlexOCrypto. I stream every morning, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. and I day trade and scalp Bitcoin mostly. So for me, I'm basically a crypto trader. And for me, that's kind of been my passion for the last like 3 years. So that's kind of a bit about me, and I'm looking forward to this interview.
Awesome. So, Alex, before we get started, tell me what were you like if I was to meet you in school, in high school? What sort of person were you?
That's hilarious. Yeah. So for me in high school, a bit of a rebel, definitely an athlete. I kind of got away with the lower grades, but because I played on basically every sports team in Canada here, I kind of got away with that. I always took like high level classes and stuff, but I was always that class clown, that kid who always playing around. And pretty outspoken and loud. I think that has served me well in the content creation space. So for me, I've always been like an extrovert, right? Really loud and really out there, but always trying to have fun, have a good laugh. And I think that's basically who I was in high school. Just really trying to have a good time and not trying to take everything so seriously. And yeah, high school was fun though. Yeah.
So, Alex, I understand you got into crypto in the middle of 2022, which was a very difficult time for anyone who was in crypto because we were going through a bear market. We had Voyager go under, we had 3 Hours Capital go under, we had Luna go under, we had FTX go under, we had so many black swan events and everything. It was a very difficult time. That was your first experience of crypto. What actually attracted you to crypto and to trading when you first got in?
Yeah, Born in the Bear. Incredible time now looking back to like legit start trading. Like for me, I was looking to start kind of a financial journey. Like I'm a carpenter by trade, so I've always been in construction for the last like 13 years. So I was looking to change my financial freedom, right? Like I really wanted to like I had a girl that I planned on marrying. I wanted to start a family. Like my life was really changing at that point in time. So I was looking to, learn how to invest, learn how to make my money work for me. And what happened was I came across a scam video with Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, um and Michael Saylor, and they were they were like, if you buy this, your money will turn into this. And I was like, oh man, this is like awesome. And like for me, I'm pretty good. Like when I get like a scam text or anything like that, I just ignore it. But for me, I was like really hooked on this Bitcoin thing, right? And during that time, the YouTube algorithm, as I'm looking up like investing and how to manage like a tax-free savings account. I think that's an ISA in the UK, like how to do all that managing of your own investments. I was just like, what's this digital gold thing, right? So I get involved and I started watching tons of videos, and I'm like, oh, trading, you can do it even faster. So, um, yeah, it was really interesting. So I my first account, I always say this to my community, is that I started on FTX, right? I started on FTX. I bought the FTT tokens. I was like Sam Bankman Fried, cheapest fees. This is gonna change my life. And I shorted the Terra Luna collapse. That was basically my first big trade, right? So I'm in the UK at the time, and I'm sitting down and I'm showing my girlfriend, who is my wife at the time, or who is my wife now. I'm like, look, I turned $1,000 into $12,000. Like I thought I was the trading guru. I thought I had made it. I was like, look at this, and I'm showing her mom. I'm showing her friend, and like, I just like I didn't realize like where I was in the market, what was going on with the market. Like I just pressed sell, and I thought it was like like get rich quick scheme, right? So that was my first exposure, and guess what happened? I added to another short on Solana, not knowing what cross leverage was, and I got liquidated on Solana and then liquidated on my Bitcoin position, and I lost everything. And that was my first trade. So one, I was like, okay, you can make a lot of money if you do this thing correctly. Two, I have no idea what I'm doing, so let's learn. And then three is like this looks like a good opportunity. And that's kind of how I first got introduced to trading.
Awesome. So, Alex, did you actually have any help when you first got into trading?
Absolutely not. No, I literally scoured the YouTube algorithm for people who were trading else. Some communities that I was part of in the beginning were like Frankie Candles was one of them, Crypto Lifer. There's like Jason Casper, Crypto Face, like a lot of these guys who have big channels now. I would just go and take little bits and pieces of what they're doing and try to apply it and try to learn it, which it wasn't easy in the beginning.
So, how did you learn to trade?
So for me, it was repetition. So I was working full time. I would come home and I would definitely I just spend time in the charts, charting, trying to map out what kind of trades I was looking for, over leveraged positions. Now, the one thing I wished I would have learned earlier, and I went profitable within 8 months, which is actually quite quick in comparison to other people. But I just wish someone would have taught me or told me the most important part of your trading is risk management. You have to have risk management. You have to have, if you want longevity in the game, you need to take a look at your risk. You need to be risking 1 to 2% of your account per trade, and from there you can start to learn. I think I really wish that, because I was one of those guys who would go on. I'd put on 80x leverage. I'd share my P&L card in the Discord. I'd be like, look at that, 200% gains, and I was making like $30. And it's like, it's almost like embarrassing to say, but I know people do that because I did it, right? And for me, it was like constantly doing that, and I'd have those winning trades, and I'd see that, I'd get that thrill of making money. But it was really like, for me, it was once I started to manage risk is when my trading really started to change. And for me, that was basically where I had to get to. I blew up 2 $1,000 accounts, and I was like, okay, what am I doing wrong? And then the risk came into play, and that's when I started to actually see my accounts start to increase.
Okay, so I think it was in November 2022, Bitcoin bottomed out at 15,000. Then after that, we kind of went up into a bull market. We started the bull market very, very slowly. But were you aware of the bear market and the bull market, and how did you change your strategies?
So that's incredible. So like it's important, like, because obviously, like, in the bear market you're used to shorting the market. Like, it's a very much, you just press sell and you typically have a higher percentage of winning, right? So that's why I think everybody talks about trend is your friend until the end, right? So you always have to. And for me, on November 22nd, I actually bought most of my my spot bags on the FTX collapse. Like, I think that was in June 10th or something like that. But anyways, right in that area is where I bought most of my spot bags, because the one thing that I did do is that I got a little bit obsessed, I would say. So like, not only was I trading, not only was I part of different communities, but what I did is I started my own channel in order to learn faster. That was like, I think that was my secret sauce. So I would go on, and some of my old YouTube videos are absolutely horrendous, but I would go on and I would chart with friends, and I'd have like my grandma and my mom watching me, and I would go on there, and I just think what I was thinking I would say out loud, and it really helped me learn faster, because I'm a hands-on guy. I'm a carpenter, so for me it was like regurgitating what I saw in the charts, and then it was kind of reiterating what I was thinking, and that helped me kind of like steepen my learning curve a lot faster. So I was doing that whilst listening to tons of traders in the meantime. So like that transition into the bull market, it was pretty obvious once we had broken structure above that November high, when we did crash down. When we broke that structure and we hit that $20,000, it was like, okay, this could be a reversal chance, right? And we did come back and retest about 19.5 after moving up from there. And then from there on, we just kind of skyrocketed up, right? So it was actually a really interesting time, and that's where I bought actually most of my Bitcoin and stuff like that. So I'm very like really happy that for me getting in on the Terra Luna collapse, and then being able to have the conviction to buy Bitcoin at around 23,000 is like I give myself a pat on the back because it's like, man, it's like pretty awesome to think that I had that awareness back then, or it could have been luck, but at least I did it, right? I took a little bit of a leap of faith, and now it has definitely paid off.
Awesome. So I understand you're a trader. You're predominantly a trader. So have you invested as well? So are you still holding Bitcoin on spot from that time?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So I I stress this so much to my group and stuff, that you have to separate your hodl bags from your trading account. Like, it's so important, right? You have to have, because for me, if I'm thinking about my hodl bag, I'm just gonna press buy on everything. It's gonna skew my interpretation of what's going on in the charts versus what I want to happen in my bags, right? So for me, it's very important to have like clearly separated and not to let them cross over either, right? Some people will top up their trading account with their spot bags, and then they'll deny themselves the opportunity of the price appreciation, right? So for me, I'm definitely a holder of altcoins and of Bitcoin. I actually just sold off a bunch of Ethereum for tax purposes, so I'm very much in the investing part of it too. But I'm mainly YouTube about trading and streaming.
So one thing that I learned, so I'm predominantly an investor, but I have started to trade. And one of the things that I do struggle with is the concentration and the stress that comes with trading. How do you handle that?
So with trading, it's not meant to be easy, right? You are going up against a market that is there to take your money, and you're. For me, I always try to say, get your breadcrumbs. Kind of, you want to collect little pieces of the market. You don't want to hit these home run trades. We were actually talking about this morning, about how important it is to one, manage the risk. That's your first job, is to go. It's almost like your lunch money. You go to school with $10, right? That is all you're going to school with, right? And it's lucky if you, and that's it. That's your repetition. You're going in every time with $10, and then you're lucky to get anything extra from that. So you pay to play. But for me, the stress level with it is understanding that, hey, I'm going in and I'm going to try and take a little piece at a time off of this big market, right? So the way I always talk about it is like, you want to hit singles and doubles. It's like a baseball term. So you don't want to try and hit a home run trade. You're gonna maybe get a home run trade like that Terra Luna collapse trade. You're maybe gonna get one of those once a month, right? You're gonna catch that bottom. It's gonna fly off. You're gonna make more money than you thought you could, right? But what I like to stress is that you go in, you take what the market gives you, because of market structure. Market structure will tell you how much you can get, and then from there you be happy with what you received, right? And as long as you manage risk, you can compound that win. So I think the stress is having a plan too. So when you have a plan, you have to execute the plan. One thing that has been very helpful with my stress levels too is understanding that here's the plan, here's where I'm looking to trade. I'm not taking a trade unless it's there, right? Like on my live stream, I'm sure you've heard me yell, be patient, be patient, be patient, because it's like we all want to be in a trade. That's like the euphoric side. I want to be in a trade. I think I have to trade. I'm a trader. I should be in a trade. What you should be doing is planning your trade, right? And being out of the trade. And alarms are great for that. So like for me, I will set alarms throughout my charts so I don't have to be on the charts 24/7. I'm a family man, and it's very important to be able to manage your time, because you can just sit there and think of trades all day, right? For me, it's you set alarms, you set the trap, you wait for your key levels, and then you go and you assess when those levels get hit, and then you make a decision, right? Because whenever you're not being in a trade is an actual position, right? It's no trade, and you're preserving your capital. Anytime you're in a trade, you're putting on risk, right? So you need to take that risk with calculation, and that's how I kind of treat it.
So you just said there that you're a family man as well. So when did you stop working and went full time into crypto? Because
Yeah.
obviously you've got a family to support. It must have been a very scary time.
It was actually petrifying. Yeah. So for me, uh, being a carpenter for 13 years, a journeyman carpenter, I always had a pretty good income, right? Like it was always I always had a job. I always had security in that job, and I had grown my channel to about 1,000 subscribers, but my trading had really taken off, right? So I was like, okay, am I going to go full time or am I not, right? So I moved back from Australia to Canada, and I was like, okay, this is the time, and this was last August. So I've been full time since last August, and it has been a dream come true, right? But it was like really a leap of faith, and what really had to happen is I really had to have back testing. I had to have proof in the pudding that, hey, this is working, and as long as I'm consistent and I'm managing my risks, this can continue to work. Because there was fear, but there was also like opportunity, right? And I had to weigh that up. One big motivator is back pain in construction. I'll tell you that much. Okay, is that when you go to work from 7 till 4 every day, but you leave the house at 5 a.m. and you're getting home at 6 p.m. and you want to start a family, it's like I'm not going to be present. I'm not going to be there. So for me, it was very important to kind of make that transition, but do it with a little bit of certainty, but also like going on a lot of faith in what I knew I was capable of, right? So taking that leap of faith and that jump was hard, but it was like it is clearly paid off, and there's nothing better than to be able to like step away from my computer on at 10 a.m. after a live stream and go do tummy time with my son, right? So it's paid off tremendously.
And congratulations, because I know you've got a newborn.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Sleep is rare, but it's worth every second. So
Awesome, awesome. So this year we've had a lot of bullish news with the ETFs and with Trump winning and all the rest of it. How has that impacted your trading, and what do you think the crypto market's going to be like for traders moving forward?
it's exciting. So like as you guys have heard, like I have never experienced a bull run, right? Like I've never had that euphoria of like price discovery. And for me, understanding environment and understanding kind of narrative has helped me so much with my trading, because in a bear market where I was basically born, right? Born in the bear, you're happy to get like 0.5% of a move during the day as a trader. Like, and now you're getting like 2, 3, 4% moves within the hour, right? So it has been a big adjustment to like managing my position size, managing my leverage, managing my expectations, but also understanding that the environment of the market has changed, right? We had that dreaded 7 months of consolidation around 60,000, right? And that was range trading, right? Price ranges 80% of the time. So taking advantage of a range, managing risk within there, that was difficult. But then as soon as we started to go, right? As soon as we started to go, it's like, okay, now we're definitely trend trading and we're looking to jump on the trend. So having the ability to identify it early and then adjust my trading on the fly has been a godsend. And I think it's about community, and it's about talking with other people and just saying like, hey man, this thing is only going up. How do I get on the gravy train, right? Like how do I participate, but how do I participate safely? And I think it's been incredible, because for me, I've actually been able to get, because for me, I'm mostly a scalper. So having these big percent moves, like it's the money is just rolling in, because it's like I manage the risk, but when it goes, it's like, okay, like this is ridiculous, right? Like we as a community have definitely started to take a lot more altcoin trades, just giving it like a very big berth on our stop loss using very low leverage. But when it goes 40%, like you're doubling your money basically, right? So being able to jump on the narratives such as meme coins, real world assets, AI, like it's all part of our system. But it's definitely something that's it's exciting. It's really exciting, and it's fun to be a part of. But also as we experienced, I believe on Thursday, December 5th, is they will sweep liquidity out quickly, right? So we had that big pump up to 104,000, and then boom, it came all the way back down to 90,500. So that's a big move within a day, and that's why we stress risk management, right? You can take that $200, $300 loss on that move, rather than your account getting liquidated, which is what happened to a lot of people. I think there was over 500 million long liquidations within the hour on that day. So I mean, you got to be safe, right, if you want to play.
That was the worst correction since I've been in crypto as well. So that was a major thing. You spoke there about meme coins. How difficult is it to trade meme coins, and how do you manage your risk with meme coins?
Oh, it's interesting. So like when I look at narratives, I looked at what has moved. So obviously Doge, Pepe, these mainstream ones have gone, right? So we're looking for things that are in similar patterns. So we took an amazing Brett trade the other week, and we took an amazing Turbo trade the other week, and it was just the fact that hey, these things haven't had that appreciation like the main ones. They're bottoming out. How do we participate? Right? It's always how do we participate? Not really. I'm not going to go in there with high leverage. Like we're putting on 3-5x leverage maximum with a huge stop loss. But it's like Brett was just doing a basic bull flag, right? So we get in, we manage our risk below the bull flag, give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room on our stop loss, and by doing that, we were able to take advantage of a 40% move, right? So it's not necessarily getting in and trading these. Like I'm not going to go in and scalp something like a meme coin. It's just with Bitcoin, it does respect levels a lot more. That's why I will scalp Bitcoin. But with a meme coin, it's like, hey, things are running right now. So it's like, how do I jump on that train like I was talking about before? And right now we're looking at a breakout on Floki that has played out, right? We were looking at breakout on Mog, and it's just like these things are bottoming out. So we're really just being like, okay, this is looking good. How do we participate? Right. And it's giving ourselves a lot of room with that stop loss while also, participating with that, like that lunch money. Right. So yes, I'm only risking $200 on a big stop loss, but that thing's going to 5x from my stop loss. I'm going to make a grand, a quick, easy $1,000 on that if I'm just patient. Right. So it's been fun. I mean, it's exciting for me because it's all new, but it's also like, because I've developed the trading skills, I'm able to maximize, my gains in an environment like this, which is pretty exciting.
So I know every trader has his own strategy and they use their own indicators. What's your strategy and how did you come to that? Because you didn't have any help when you first got in.
Yeah, so my strategy has it's developed over time with some losses, with some things. Like you will find that certain things will change, but for me, I've always been a market cipher trader. I'm very fortunate to be sponsored by CryptoFace, and I've always used market cipher from day one. But for me, it's VWAP. VWAP, volume weighted average price, has always been a big part of my strategy for scalping, and then uh, a market structure. Market structure is going to tell you everything. If you can understand, like I always tell people, go on the 1 minute time frame, rewind the thing, and just watch price action, because you're going to understand the way price moves, the way they come back and they grab liquidity, they push for liquidity, they push to key areas, and you're going to be able to see, the divergences, the price discovery moves where they have pullbacks and where you're able to get in on that run up, right? So for me, price action is always going to be king, and then I will use key levels. So I'll use volume, I'll use Fibonacci, also to find key areas where I can build a level of confluence. So if there's like a golden pocket in one area alongside an order block, alongside a volume support level, of course I'm looking for a trade there more than I am in the middle of nowhere, right? So I want to be able to stack those confluences throughout that give me higher probabilities to taking my trades from like a B trade to an A plus setup, right? Where I'm able to like, okay, this is where I manage my risk. I'm trying to be as cheap as possible with my risk, but also knowing that this area is typically where you get a bounce, and that's just been back tested over and over and over again. And I think back testing is going to really set you apart from retail traders. You're going to be able to see, hey man, when I do this and this and this, it's not working, but if I did this, then it will work, right? So it's those minor little tweaks that you're going to find, like taking, I had a big problem with taking profits too early. I've made some tweaks with that. So like all these things come into play, and it's only through testing and then getting a journal. It's if you want this to be your job, you need to get a journal and be like, okay, what did I do wrong here? And every trade, you've done something wrong. You've gotten stopped out too early. You've gotten stopped out. So you've entered wrong. You've taken profits too early. You've not gotten out of the trade early. You've never done anything perfect in trading. So it's like the honest self-appraisal every single day and reflection is going to change you as a trader. And that's like the biggest advices I could give is to take a look at yourself and be like, okay, you suck and I can be better. How can I be better? And then make those adjustments along the way, right? And by doing that every single day, you're going to become an amazing trader.
So I know you from your live trades. I lurk on your live streams all the time. And the reason why I do that is mainly obviously because of the trades and learning from you, but also your showmanship. It's really, really good. I love the way you talk. I love the way you interact with people. I love the way that you're always saying something. You never run out of things to say. Would you say you're generally very good at entertaining, or is it something that you've had to develop?
I I'm just like I said, I'm an extrovert and like I love having a good chat. So like for me, it's feeding off of the chat's energy. It's feeding off of what's going on in my life. It's always I've always been a very talkative person. So like I can go for days. Like people are like, why don't you have music on your stream? I'm like, I just don't need it, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, as they say in the UK, I'm a chatty Cathy, right? So for me, I can't. For me, I love people. I love being part of like their journey, and I really like the trolls when they come in. Like I like having a good laugh that people are like, "Oh, you suck," and I'm like, "Yeah, man, you must be having a bad day, man. It's okay, man. I love you too." It's so like I love it, right? Like I really love coming on. Like you can tell when someone is passionate, right? Because
Mhm.
like I know for myself, I wake up some mornings and like I've had 45 blinks from my baby boy like crying all night, and I'm still getting on. I'm turning on the camera, I'm starting the live, and I'm having a good time, right? Like, and for me, if I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it, right? So I think that has a huge part of it, and it's just like the community, the camaraderie. Like for me, I've had my Discord, and it was free for 2.5 years. So I've built like a foundation of friends. Like it's like coming into the office where I get to say, "Hey, man, what's going on? How's it going? What's going on with your life? What are you looking at?" Right? And it's like it's that camaraderie to know that we're all in the trenches, but we're all here to like kind of try to build a life of financial freedom. And like you want to have fun because trading's stressful, right? Trading is challenging and it's gonna put you through the ringer, but if you can have some joy in it, I think that's what I really try to do is I try to bring that joy and try to bring that energy every day. And I mean, the showmanship is just part of it. I mean, I used to sing in a band in like high school, and like I can't sing worth a damn, right? I beatbox, I have all that fun, but it's like, it's just fun, right? Like, why would you want to just come on here and be like all technical and like I'm a carpenter. Like there's banter all the time on a construction job. It's typically rude. We try to stay away from that, but it just comes out, and it's like you're having a good time whilst working. Why not, right? And that's kind of how I treat it.
Awesome. Tell us a bit more about your private community. What do you do in there?
Yeah. So like initially, like I said, 2 years, 2.5 years of free Discord where I would share my charts, setups, and ideas. But through those 2 years, we've kind of built a group of people who really care. Our rules are be kind and don't be a bad word, but we always want you to be kind. That is the key. Like that's how I built it on is kindness and giving, right? So it's like that giver's game, Billy Goat Tails kind of mentality where we're definitely trying to help others, on their journey. So I'm not going to tell you not to use good risk management. I'm going to tell you what I wanted to hear when I was new, but in the community what has happened is traders from other communities have come on and offered their services. So I give my trade setups, I give my altcoin trade setups, I give my ideas. I do 3 lives a week, but then Kyle from InvestorShare, he's come on and offered his services. So he's an amazing trader as well. Then we have another guy, Brewberry, who's an amazing trader, smart money concepts, right? And then we have another guy, Thesis, who does trade setups as well. So we have 4 traders giving setups, ideas, and all that for signals, and then we have like amazing moderators. So we have Lunar Beaches Crypto, Jonathan Schaefer, Nick Musgrave, Mark Dutch. These guys are like prominent all the time. Sniper's Nightmare. They're always in the Discord, always trying to help, right? Giving their like not advice, but like, hey man, you might want to practice better risk management. Hey, let's do this. Schaefer's very good on the macro side. Like we have like this community that is really there to like help you. Like we just want to help you, right? Like it's not like I don't need your 20-40 bucks a month, right? I don't need it. I'm a trader trying to help traders. And I think that's what we've built it on, is that I make my money from trading. If you want to take it further, you can. That's your choice, but we're here to help. And I think that's why, we've been so successful in the fact that is we really want people to succeed, and the community, the foundation of the community is everything, right? And we protect that. If they're being an idiot, we have no problem saying, ta like we'll see you later, right? Like that's not the issue. We really want people to learn, and we want to be kind while doing it.
I'm in your Discord and I can vouch for that. I mean, it is such a good place, and the community that you've built is so lovely. So well done for that. So what are your plans for the next couple of years then? I mean, you're so successful. Are you going to actually keep doing this, or are you going to retire?
Oh, of course we want to retire. I mean, for me, I love doing this, right? I love doing this. I have the opportunity to teach in other communities as well. So like for me, the long-term plan is like I really want a nice cozy place in the mountains. That's kind of where I'm at. It's like I want to be comfortable and I want to be happy, but I will continue to trade every single day. I think trading has just become part of my identity, and it's like it's fun to come on and show up for these people, right? And it's fun to see, you know, people share like their first big win, and like I love seeing people win, right? I think that's also like one of my addictions, is like I love seeing when someone's like, oh man, I managed my risk, I took profits properly, and they're like, man, I crushed it, and now I can put, I can buy my kid that toy for Christmas or whatever it is, right? Like I love seeing people win. So it's like I will continue to do this until I have absolutely nothing left in me. I think it's totally fun. I really enjoy it, like I said. So I think that's the kicker. It's like for me, I loved being a carpenter. I can build a house from start to finish, yada yada yada. But it was getting to the point where you're showing up to work and you're like, oh, right. I don't have that feeling ever with trading. I don't have that feeling ever when I'm coming on and trying to help people, see the market a little bit clearer, right? So for me, I plan on continuing this journey for a long time, right? I may be able to retire, but I don't think I'm gonna, right? So it's been pretty incredible.
It's very difficult to leave crypto once you get in. It really is. I know that feeling. So looking back over your crypto experience, your crypto journey, is there anything that you would have done differently?
You're always gonna have like, yeah, of course. I think there's some times where you've overtraded. There's some times where you've like it's hard to put a finger on it, but like I think that the part of the process is having those down times where you're like, man, I suck, this isn't gonna work, I crypto is a scam, yada yada yada. Like I think that's part of the joy in it too. It's like it's not meant to be easy. Trading is not, I say that all the time, it's not meant to be easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it, right? So it's a skill. It takes time to develop. It's going to take patience and a lot of discipline, right? So for me, I don't think I'd change anything besides besides the fact that of not closing that $10,000 trade right at the beginning.
Oh God, yeah.
But it's a good story, and it's a lesson, right? It's a lesson that I can say, hey man, I use this exchange. I don't suggest you go on this exchange because I started trading on FTX, right? Be careful how much funds you keep on the exchange. Like it's that experience is valuable to the new person coming in. So if I can share that experience, I will, right? So it all has value. It's just your perspective on it. So I wouldn't change a thing. I just continue to show up and hopefully help people.
Well, Alex, it was absolutely lovely having you on the show today and learning about your crypto journey.
Thank you so much. It's really an honor and a privilege to be asked, and I hopefully I've delivered and thank you so much for asking me and being part of the community. And we'll definitely have to get you a membership in our community so that you can come and chirp all the otter gang in in our community. We would love to have you. So thank you for the interview, and it's been a fun one.
Awesome.